I'm Steve Katsaros. I'm an inventor. I invented a solar light bulb. I'm the founder and CEO of Nokero. We're based in Denver, Colorado. And it's my honor to be here today. Think about living in a mud hut, what it would be like to have a 3-stone fire in the center, a kerosene lamp on the wall, soot so thick you don't dare touch the walls for fear of soiling your clothes, your eyes burning red, your lungs as you breathe in the known carcinogens and particulate matter. No human should live this way when we have technology. Yet 1.3 billion people in the world, 1 out of every 5 humans, live in these conditions. They burn 20% of their income on kerosene to provide light. If you live without access to electricity, you're 8 times more likely to die by fire, and your children are at risk for ingesting kerosene because it's commonly distributed in Coke bottles and discarded water bottles. It's $40 per year of kerosene per lamp. So, I used to invent products for the ski industry. I grew up in a ski town in Colorado, and I used to love to make skiing more enjoyable. We're talking about activities for the very top of the economic pyramid. By nature of you being in this room, you're with me in this wonderful condition where we have access to all kinds of technologies and opportunities. But I was so passionate about coming up with something at the base of the economic pyramid, something that could improve billions of lives. And it's best summed up by this quote: unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. This is from a book called The Lorax, written in 1971, and in a lot of ways it predicts the peril that we're in today. This furry guy here, I don't know how many of you know about the Lorax, but he lived in the trees, these truffula trees in a forest, and he spoke for the trees because the trees have no tongue. And up came the Onceler, who saw the truffula trees as opportunity and created a thneed, and the thneeds were economically viable. So he created more truffula trees, more thneeds, created machines to cut down these truffula trees, factories to build the thneeds, warehouses to distribute them, distributor relationships. Long story short, boy comes up to the Onceler when he's in a barren wasteland with nothing that exists but a dilapidated old mansion. And the boy starts a conversation with the Onceler. What happened to this place? And the Onceler goes off and finds the last truffula seed and gives it to the boy and says, make this forest again. And hopefully one day the Lorax will return with the fishy fish and the swanny swans, if anybody has read this. But anyway, we'll get back to that truffula seed. So in January of 2010, I came up with this idea, and I set out to change the world. 4 days later, filed a patent. Within 5 months, had created the injection molds, built a production in Asia. We launched on June 10th of 2010. And by sharing my heart and what I believed in to be so true and right, the world conspired to deliver that dream. 6 days after we launched, Ellie Velshi on CNN covered the launch of our company, and this went global, a 6-minute piece on CNN. And it was repeated time and time again over the years. But the point is that the more you share your heart and tell the world about what your dreams are, it'll conspire to deliver that to you. So what we're talking about here is a simple solar light. So small I put it in my pocket, right? It doesn't look very impressive, but what it does is impressive. it changes lives. You have a simple solar panel, little click button, gives light. Put it outside during the day, it charges by the sun. One day's charging gives 15 hours of light on low, 6 hours of light on high. This gives all kinds of opportunity for those 1.3 billion people who have no access to electricity. It's about $13 in the developing world. Handy bit of kit. So we've partnered with all kinds of entities across 120 countries. I don't believe in borders. Borders are gone. We have the internet, information flows. We have modern logistics. Dubai is a prime example of that. But these partners of nonprofits, NGOs, governments, humanitarians have delivered so many of these lights. 1.5 million of these lights. This is a particularly heartwarming image for me. This is taken in the Philippines after a typhoon decimated 20% of the national grid. There's a humanitarian out of Malaysia named Karan Krier who raised money to bring thousands of lights to this community, and he gave lights to this lady and thousands of others because she had lost everything. So our distribution comes in two forms, aid and paid. Aid means that somebody received it, the end user received it for free, and paid meaning it's a reseller network. This represents an image, or this is an image of a woman in Ethiopia, where we have 500 million people, 500 million people without electricity. They aren't going to get the national grid. You know? There's going to be a new type of distribution, distributed generation, in the form of solar lights and solar home systems and other renewables. This has been very hard. To do this, I have a lot of scraped knees, and I see a lot of entrepreneurs out in the crowd, and only you entrepreneurs understand how hard it can be, how lonely sometimes can be. But in that time, know that it's going to get better. This represents one of those moments for us. Actually, being on the stage does, to have the opportunity to address you all. But this was issued by the United States Patent and Trademark Office. We went to the U.S. Senate. It's the Patents for Humanity Award. The only other company was this huge multi-billion-dollar company, Procter & Gamble. You might have heard of them. But to be recognized at the same stage. We're not done yet. So we've impacted 10 million lives. We provided last year 230 million hours of productivity that didn't exist before. $40 million of fuel savings for the poorest people in the world, people who live on less than $4 a day. This is my contact information. I'm here to help you, my colleagues, my entrepreneurs, my friends. But I want to get back to that truffula seed. Remember the one from the Lorax that I was telling you about? See, this isn't about a tree that's planted to grow the first truffula tree, to grow a grove of trees, to grow a forest so that the Lorax comes back. That truffula seed is what's in you. It's what's in your heart, what you're passionate about, what you believe in. So set forth with all the knowledge that you get today. Plant that seed, your idea, and watch it grow, and come back here and tell us about it. Thank you.